Hello, everyone. Welcome to Overtime Overdrive, Sports Overdrive. All right, let's get started with today's two topics. First topic, we're going to talk about NBA. And the NBA, we're going to check out some headlines and some storylines going on. It seems, what's going on in both conferences is that, as we know, it's stacked, and we know the Eastern Conference is the petty conference, as we know. But I just wanted to start out with Kyrie getting his suspension, still on that suspension. We know that's that, and I want to know what you guys think of what's going on, not just with that, but in the Eastern Conference entirely, with the Cavs being a potential contender. The way the Miami Heat is playing, they just lost to my Toronto Raptors. It was a good beatdown without two of our superstars. I don't know about Miami this year, Justin, but if you think about it, the way to get Eastern Conference going, I'm gonna start off with you. I'm gonna start off with you, Jake, and I want to know how do you feel about what's going on in the Eastern Conference, and then once you bring it back up to me, we talk about the West. But what do you think? What's going on? Boston being a contender again, Milwaukee. And everybody else.
You're revving me up. Like, I just got to sit here and all the thoughts are flowing in. You kidding me?
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you say about that. But let's see what Jake has to say.
I know Milwaukee looks pretty much as advertised. I knew they were going to be one of the top teams this year. I've been impressed with Boston for sure. They look just as good as they were last year. And, of course, they had to make the last-minute coaching change. Cleveland looks fantastic. They can knock down shots. Donovan Mitchell is having one of his best years yet. We'll see what happens when we get to the playoffs with Donovan Mitchell. He hasn't been as efficient in the postseason, but he's looking really good. Justin, I am a little concerned about the Miami Heat. I am a little bit concerned. This team, look, are they going to miss the playoffs? No. They're not that bad. It's 15 games in. But this is a team that looks like a second-round exit right now.
You're a little worried? I've already given up.
I don't know about giving up.
I give up on this team. This franchise sucks. They stink. I'm not a fan. Pat Riley is too busy sleeping in his executive chair than making an off-season move.
He's out of it,
He's out of no. He's not even in it. That's how out of it he is. He's not even in it anymore. I don't care how many rings this guy won. He did not make a single relevant off-season move. Nikola Jovic is not the guy. He is not the guy. He is a knockoff of the back-to-back MVP on the Denver Nuggets who has to drop 50 and still lose. I cannot stand it. Let me tell you something. Dwayne Dedmon has impressed me, but just a little bit. You know who hasn't? Once again, Duncan Robinson. I do not care if he's like 300 away from beating Tim Hardaway Sr. It's Tim Hardaway. It ain't Dwayne Wade. It ain't Ray Allen. It's Tim Hardaway. Good player, but not great.
Hey, Jimmy Butler, he's a survivor. He's not really a type guy. Look.
Jimmy Butler is not a survivor. What do you mean, Jimmy Butler is the only guy in that team who actually cares?
But look at Jimmy Butler. He's out of it. He's out of it. Look, he's growing his hair out.
He didn't even grow hair. It's these stupid extensions that got
what I'm trying to say.
He went to Party City and picked up extensions.
He looks like a hippo, a hippie. He's out of it. The black. I don't know. He's a hippie. He looks like he's out of it.
Here's the thing.
He's gas. The team looks horrible.
He's a great two-way player. No one will doubt that. Yeah, he's having a slow start to the season. I'll give him a pass. No, I'm not giving a pass. Kyle Lowry. Number one, not only is Kyle Lowry old, he's also...
Alright, he's a Raptors fan, he knows.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry is also short. If the NBA was a Dunkin' Donuts, Kyle Lowry would be a munchkin. He really is. He really is. If you gave Kyle Lowry a football helmet, I would think that he was Kyler Murray from the Arizona Cardinals. That's
he's not that short. He's more than 3 inches tall.
Nah, he's short. He's short. He's short-tempered. He's a short man, short-tempered, short on shots, short on everything, and we gave him too much cash.
I love how you compare... You have a guy named Duncan on the team, and he was not the guy you compare to Dunkin' Donuts.
No, I didn't, because Dunkin' Donuts is actually pretty good.
All right,
Everyone
well,
also doesn't deserve that. But anyway, back to that's
Peter
my
off to a
heated
slow
rant.
start. That's the moral of the story.
No, they're not off to a slow start. They're off to the spot. They're off to the start I've expect them to be. Tank for Wembanyama. Tank for Ho You Fat. Tank for Scoot. Tank for somebody at this point. You know what, Miami? Take for Bryce Young. Get a freaking football player in there. At least he's taller than Kyle Lowry.
Take for Bryce Johnson.
Yeah. Take for my boy Bryce Johnson, the GOAT. With that game-stealing rebound against Columbia, that was crazy.
Let's move to the Western Conference, right? And when you talk about the Western Conference, it's still stacked. You still got some good top teams in there. Top 4, top 8. But when you think about it, you got Denver, you got Clippers. They're in there, But when you think about it, the Warriors are falling back.
Oof, yeah,
that's a big storyline right there. Klay Thompson does not get himself together. I guess Charles Barkley pushed his buttons after the Denver Booker incident, and then you have the Suns up top. I'm also kind of rooting for them to get out of the West. They got a top tier team. They look good. Dallas, Doncic.
Luka is going.
Ooh, Luka. You know what I'm saying?
He plays like a my player on NBA 2K. Man.
I know this guy. You can go. The Luka offense. It's running pretty well. And then what else you have is in the Western Conference, Utah. As a team that has nobody. It's just it's Utah. It's Utah Jazz. It's full of nothing.
Danny Ainge accidentally made one of the biggest dark horses in the NBA right now, on accident. Because Colin Sexton, once again, this guy can hold his own. I think we talked about this last podcast. Yeah. He's very good. Lauri Markkanen has been having a great year. He was good on Cleveland, not so good on Chicago, but he's playing really well on Utah right now. A lot of those players are holding their own, who have come to that team, and you could certainly argue that right now, because you're also looking at the way Minnesota's playing, that the Utah won that trade by far.
So yeah, that is true. I agree with you there, Justin. And they did win that trade so far. They're looking good for it. They could be potential contenders. And when you look at the West, right now, if I could pull up the standings right now,
Phoenix is towards the top. Obviously, you got Utah on top. Dallas looks really good. Luka's playing out of his mind.
Luka's playing great. Luka's always played great, in my opinion, ever since he got into the league.
Oh, yeah.
Trailblazers.
Portland's looking very good.
Damian Lillard, he's trying to get there. He's trying to get to right where he belongs. They're number 1.
Yeah, they're number 1.
Denver 3rd, Phoenix 2nd, 4th, Jazz. Pelicans. Zion is stepping up. He's on the horizon. He's on the horizon right now. And Grizzlies are going to be there. John Morant. I'm also rooting for that team too. For them to get at the West.
Very good.
He's getting better with the shooting, and I like it right now. And the way I'm seeing it, surprising team here. A surprising team alert. Sacramento Kings could go to the
They're
playoffs.
playing some good basketball.
De'Aaron Fox, bro. De'Aaron Fox.
They for some reason just finally peaked the corner of relevancy.
I feel like
finally remember who they are.
Yo.
After like 20 years.
Bro.
It's amazing.
I feel like let me tell you, Jake. Let me tell you, Justin, man. I feel like he's improving. Each year he has improved. He has improved each year. And so far in the regular season, already scoring 24.6 points per game. He already has 6.2 assists, 5 rebounds with that. He's 54.1 field goal. He's looking good. Defense, he's going to excel there. He's really twitchy, and he knows what he's doing. And he's one of those guards that I've been looking at since college, Kentucky. The way he clamped Lonzo Ball in that college. College in the Sweet 16, and all the way to now, he's improving day by day. I like his sense of humor. I like the personality. It's coachable, and that's the way you want your point guard. That's a leader right there. And this team, they're on the horizon. They are definitely on the horizon. What do you guys think about the Western Conference so far? Jake, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, first I want to talk about the Golden State Warriors. They are 0-8 on the road. They have not won a road game yet. We're like 3 weeks into the year. I don't know what's going on with Golden State. Clay is struggling. Clay is struggling. Draymond doesn't look fantastic. Even Jordan Poole doesn't look like the guy that he was last year. Outside of Steph Curry, no one there has really looked like the team he was last year. I'm not sure if maybe they're starting to get older. I mean, Klay Thompson's had so many injuries. Steph's not getting any younger. Draymond's getting older. I'm not sure if he's thinking about his player option, if that's getting to his head or not. I mean, Jordan Poole just got his contract. I'm not sure maybe if him and Wiggins are just getting a little complacent because they got their money. I don't know what's going on, but they look off. Something's off there. This team is too experienced to just go on the road. I can understand a really young team having road struggles like this. First of all, 0-8, that's ridiculous. And a veteran team like this that's won 4 rings in this decade, to struggle on the road the way they have, it's pretty embarrassing.
It's definitely not it's not a good look at all.
Not at all.
For them, because you have two fantastic players on there that are leading that team in Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Yes, Klay did not come back the same. Just saying, I called it.
Not 100%.
Yeah, he's not 100%. He's not like he used to be. Steph Curry's still playing great, but it's these moments to where it proves that Steph Curry himself is not enough.
Yeah.
He's just not. He's a great player, all-time great, in my opinion, undisputed first ballot Hall of Famer, without a doubt. But he is not the guy to do it all on his own. He's just not, and you could see that against the Suns. They had Chris Paul out.
Yeah.
They had the point God out, and they still beat the Warriors, the reigning champions. Jordan Poole, you're right. Jordan Poole's had a great year last year. Definitely could have been in the conversation for most improved player. Even in my opinion, could have been in the conversation for 6th man of the year when Klay Thompson came back. But obviously Tyler Hero played better. But he's not looking well. Andrew Wiggins isn't looking good. It really is just Steph Curry and friends at this point. As for the Kings, they're doing great, Kenley. You're absolutely right. I like watching them. They're finally entertaining. That Nets game that they had where they dropped 153 points against them is absolutely insane. I know there is some internal issues going on, but still, dropping 153 points in a regular time
He's only
game.
24. I thought he was like 28, De'Aaron Fox, but
he's still
really young. He came in young. He's a great player.
He's either just hitting his prime or he's starting his prime. It's amazing.
He's a guy who I've always thought was great. Just honestly, because he's been on the Kings, no one pays attention to the Kings. If he was in a big market like New York or LA, I think he would be recognized a lot more than he is.
Yeah, he is. This might be his all-star season right here.
It might just be.
It could be it. He is my only concern is this. It is the Kings. The Kings have a great team right now. The draft pick of Keegan Murray was an excellent pickup. Mm-hmm. Mike Brown's looking like a pretty solid coach. My concern is this. For some reason, every year the Kings have some pieces going for them. They trade them away,
Halliburton.
Yeah, Halliburton. They trade away Halliburton. They trade away Buddy Hield. They had a really good thing going for them with that young core there, and they traded it away. And they ended up having a very bad season. So I hope they've learned from their mistakes and keep this team, because even if this team clinches a play-in, I think if I'm a Kings fan, if you're a Kings fan, you should be very satisfied with this.
All right, man. That's the Western Conference. That's the Eastern Conference. And when you look at the NBA in totality here, and when you look at it, and I can't say that this team is going to the finals. That I don't know for sure yet. I can't make any potential predictions right now. But going to Christmas break, it's going to be interesting. You know, LeBron is injured right now. He's been doing a lot, and it's funny because he's having a show where he's talking about football with his guy Maverick Carter, and that's just a distraction while he's injured. But that's that. All right, that's neither here or there. But I just want to say, you know, as you move on into Christmas break, Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, it's gonna see interesting where these teams at, where are they placed in the rankings for both conferences. I can tell you there's a lot of strong contenders out there for both conferences. And so now that's the NBA. I want to now move on to the NFL, the National Football League. So as we know, this is an update right now. ESPN updated it, but this gave us the update. The Bills and the Browns. Fortunately, that game is being moved to Detroit because of that big snowstorm in the Western New York and Buffalo.
I know it needed to be, but that just would have been so funny to watch. I know Nick Chubb is 5'11", is Singletary. It's 5'7".
Yeah.
He's 5'7". Imagine that. It'd just be really funny. They're just like digging their way to the end zone for a touchdown. You know, if their knees down on the ground, you won't even see it. If it's a fumble, it'll just hit the top of the snow. Technically, ball's still in play.
That could be like that in playoff time with the Bills. If they had that first seed, that blizzard, oh man.
That would be awesome. If they're running a lateral play, just slide across the snow. Like a hockey puck.
That'd be pretty funny.
Them like hockey.
They slide it over to each other. You know,
that'd be crazy.
I mean, at least Josh Allen will be fine. Luckily, the Cardinals aren't playing. But I think it's otherwise. I think it is a smart move for them to move it to Detroit. Do the Lions have a bye? Is that why they're playing in Detroit?
No, the Lions are playing New York Giants at New Jersey, East Rutherford.
Okay,
yeah, MetLife.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's open, and it's a very generous for the Lions Stadium to give them the rights to play there. So it should be a fine game, and the weather shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, it definitely needed to be done. It would have been hilarious to see Nick Chubb, who is an inch short of the amount of snow they're getting. But yeah, it needed to be done. I mean, the Bills Browns, the Bills are a Super Bowl contender, and the Browns, on paper should be a little better than they are. But obviously they've underperformed a bit. They got some guys out, so that's a pretty big game. So they obviously need to be moved. So I want to talk about some other teams in the AFC who've been impressive. Let's start with the Miami Dolphins, 7-3 in first place in the division.
Together. Yeah. Hey, now that you said that, it seems like they've gotten back together. It all started in that Baltimore game. It did, honestly.
Yeah.
Where magic just happened. And I feel like their line has just been unstoppable right now with pass protection.
Yes, their offensive line has definitely gotten a lot better. That's where we plagued them. Tua got hit a lot, and that took close to a lot of his struggles. The O-line is definitely holding up, and he's had time to find Tyreek Hill and find Jalen Waddle and find these guys, and he's playing a lot better, and we already knew they can play defense, and they're just everything's clicking. And kudos to Mike McDaniel, he's done a good job there.
At least one McDaniel is doing well.
And then the other is about to get booted out of Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's another AFC team, the Raiders. I mean, if we want to talk about them after the Dolphins, but the Dolphins are a good team.
How does Devontae have to feel right now?
Oh my God,
so tough. Look, Christian Watson's feeling good right now with Rodgers. He's just cooking. He's cooking.
3 touchdowns last week.
Finally, right now too.
Finally, a receiver came through for Green Bay.
Mike McCarthy helped the Packers win.
I saw all those memes like finally Mike McCarthy's coaching finally helped the Packers win. That was pretty funny.
But anyway, the Dolphins, they're looking well. I'm still not entirely sold on Tua just yet, mainly because mainly because of the injury, and also because the past 2 years he's been in the league, he just hasn't been that impressive. The only reason why this year I think he's looking impressive is because he has Tyreek Hill on his team and Jalen Waddle. Because they like you're talking about elite wide receivers. Those two are the definition of elite. And then that's what I think. But the line's doing well. Mike McDaniel's doing very well. I think if he were to win Coach of the Year, I wouldn't be against that as well. Minus Kevin O'Connell for the Vikings personally. But the Vikings, they could potentially win the division if they keep this momentum going.
Honestly, the Vikings, if you want to talk about that in the NFC, not only potentially win the division, now that the Eagles lost, surprisingly, I'm surprised by that, to the Redskins. Scary Terry is annoying to me.
The Commanders.
He's getting annoying right now. And I think he needs to cut that out, whatever he's doing with his play. Not whatever he's doing attitude-wise, but his play. And it's annoying me because I'm a DB myself. And I don't like what he's doing, torching these other DBs. He's doing what he's supposed to do, but it's scaring me. It's scaring me. It's scary Terry. And I don't like it. I don't like it. It's annoying me. It really is. And
he's such a great player.
I'm going to leave it at that. But it's surprising because not that they have lost. You got to watch out for the Vikings now.
Yes.
And the Vikings could potentially be the number one team in the NFC, and they could have home field.
Huggins, baby.
They could have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But what you got to notice something: Vikings number one, Eagles number two. That would be similar to 4 years ago when the Eagles was number one.
Yeah.
Vikings number two. Deja vu. 4 years
later.
Against
Case Keenum. Yeah, we might see that again.
But it's different.
Obviously, different quarterback.
Top tier quarterbacking.
Teams can meet again.
I wouldn't say so much for Kirk Cousins, but for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think, and this is going to sound really strange, but I think that if the Vikings win in primetime, I think they become the Super Bowl favorite. Because that's the only thing, really, that Kirk Cousins has not done this season.
He's not a primetime player.
He's had a great comeback win against the Bills. That was a great game, in my opinion, game of the year, easily. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's because the rest of the games this year were not good. But even that, the quality of that game was just really good. But the only thing that Kirk Cousins, like I said, has not done was won in a primetime match. And if he wins that, I think the curse is broken. And they go on to win the Super Bowl. And yes, Kirk Cousins, I do like that.
Oh, wow.
They got so many weapons. You pick up Hawkinson. Justin Jefferson might be the best receiver in the league. That dude is insane. That catch he had was... That's unfair.
Yeah, that is one of the best catches I've ever seen. Odell's is probably up there as number one, in my opinion. 3-finger catch off your back foot. That was a crazy catch. But the clutchness of that catch from Justin Jefferson, it was a 4th and 18, and he was being covered pretty heavily, and he just caught it with one hand like that. That was a big time play.
Yeah, Thielen, Cook, the offense is loaded.
Dalvin Cook, a running back, a tight end, a huge star receiver, 2 huge star receivers. Yeah. Adam Thielen, Pro Bowl receiver. So, and before we end this podcast, guys, I just want to say, give me the predictions for both the conferences and AFC, NFC. For the games, actually, just for the games that's coming. What week are we in? 9,
This
10?
is week 11, I believe.
Week 11. So yeah.
This is week 11. Yeah, this is week 11.
All right, Justin. We'll start with you. What's your big prediction for this week?
I'm trying to look at the caliber of games that are on today, that are on this week, because there are some interesting games. Ooh, all right. Here's my prediction. I am going to make a prediction on the Raiders-Broncos game. The Raiders-Broncos game is probably going to be the second worst game in the NFL this year, right behind Broncos-Colts. That game is going to be so bad, it's going to be fantastic. Now, here's the thing. I predict that not only is Derek Carr going to step into the back of his end zone for a safety, but I also think the score is going to be tied 6-6.
Predicting a tie. I like it.
Tie. I don't think anyone wins this game. And if it does, and if somebody does win, somebody's dignity is going to be lost either way. So everybody loses this game. It's a lose-lose. There is no winning. It's a tank bowl. It really is. Who's going for Bryce Young?
Imagine the Raiders getting Bryce Young.
My prediction for this week is, Kelly, you're not going to like it, but I said the Jets beat the Patriots.
Hell no.
I think the Jets beat the Patriots. The Jets, that last game, they shot themselves in the foot so many times. I'm still not over that game, to be honest. The Jets made so many horrendous mistakes. From Zach Wilson's interceptions, they should have won that game. I think they play better, and I think they beat the Patriots to get to 7-3.
I cried Derek Carr style after that.
Which, by the way, if they win, they'll be in first place because they'll have the same record as Miami, and they beat Miami.
That's
so
true.
I said the Jets win, and we will head into Week 12 saying this: first place, New York Jets. Who would have thought?
I say for my predictions before we end it, Cowboys Vikings.
That's a good game.
That's gonna be a good game.
And two, I got another one: Chiefs Chargers. Cowboys Vikings. I go with the Cowboys. I guess they bounce back. I think Diggs is gonna strap that up. He's a strapper, and he's gonna strap Jefferson. That's gonna be the key of the game.
Yeah, but do you trust Dak Prescott?
Dak Prescott's gonna get it down the way one way or another. One day he gets it, one day he doesn't get it.
I don't trust Dak Prescott.
Chargers Chiefs. I got the Chargers. I got Justin Herbert. I got the other playmaker going at taking out the other playmaker, and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty good game if
but then
the
again,
receivers come back healthy. The problem is he's got...
They might get their guys back. Mike Williams is practicing. Keenan Allen's practicing. They might get they could
this
come
game
back.
For this game, hopefully. If so, it's going to be a problem.
If so, they definitely have a shot.
Yeah, they almost beat him at Arrowhead, but I think they could beat him here in SoFi. So, well, that's it for Sports Overdrive. Overdrive. And see you later.
Peace out.
Take a good look.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Have a good one.